What's up, guys? There have been many attempts to reboot classic horror films, some a success, and some not so much. But to most horror fans, the newer versions are just never going to live up to the source material. Mainly because not only is the plot of the film altered, but so is the origin story. So, here are 7 retconned horror icon origins. Leatherface. Ted Sawyer came from a backwoodsy, possibly cannibalistic family in the heart of Texas. The number of the family members is unknown, but there are a shit ton of them. The weird brother, the old-ass grandpa, or whatever it is. There's definitely some Hills Have Eyes shit going on there. That being said, Leatherface was born with a facial deformity, causing him to wear the mask to hide his face. When it was remade in 2003, Jed Sawyer became Thomas Hewitt, and his origin story was basically the same. Now, in the newest self-titled film, though, Leatherface was a handsome normal guy who got shot in the face, causing the deformity. Candyman. Daniel Robitaille was a painter in late 1800s New Orleans, where he was employed by a man whose daughter he fell in love with. When the man found out about this, he ordered the townspeople to hunt Daniel down and cut off his hand with a rusty blade, and then they smeared honey all over him. They chanted Candyman as bees stung him to death. Daniel returned as Candyman, an entity that kills you with a hook if you say his name 5 times in the mirror. The remake of this is still in the works by Jordan Peele, and it's starring Yahya Abdul-Mateen, the guy who played Black Manta in Aquaman. Pennywise. Pennywise the Dancing Clown is a celestial being of pure evil that crash-landed on a meteor into what would become Derry, Maine. It takes the form of your worst fear, and in the case of the Losers Club, a clown. It feeds on human fear every 27 years before hibernating in its sewer lair. In the remake, the origin is pretty much the same, aside from this time they hint at Bob Gray, a carnival clown in the 20th century that it possessed, and would then take on the form of. Chucky. Charles Lee Ray was a serial killer in Chicago who got gunned down in a toy store. Upon death, he grabbed the nearest thing close to him, which was a good guy doll, and then transferred his soul into it using voodoo. Dubbed Chucky, he went on a murder spree, looking for a new body to possess. In the reboot, though, this is all retconned and Chucky is now a robot. That's right, a robot. The good guy doll is now my buddy, and this doll in particular had the safety protocols removed, allowing its violent and murderous behavior. There was no possessed doll, just corrupted artificial intelligence. Freddy. Fred Krueger was a child murderer in Springwood, Ohio, known as the Springwood Slasher. After his trial, he got off on a technicality. To get a sense of justice, he was hunted down and burned to death by the angry parents of the dead children, only to come back as a dream demon in the remaining children's nightmares, killing them for revenge. Freddy now possesses immortality and the ability to kill in the dream world. In the reboot, Fred Krueger was a gardener at a preschool where he secretly molested the children. Instead of taking him to court, the parents burned him alive and left him for dead as a John Doe. He then returned in the kids' nightmares, seeking revenge for his death. Jason. Jason Voorhees drowned in Camp Crystal Lake in 1957, after the counselors didn't pay any attention to him. As a result, his mother Pamela went on a killing spree, getting the camp closed down. After one of the counselors killed her, Jason returned, having never actually drowned at all, to kill anyone who ever returned to the camp. They didn't really touch much on his origin in the remake, but they did show Pamela die and used it as Jason's motivation to kill. Michael Myers. Michael Myers killed his sister on Halloween night for no apparent reason. He was committed to Smith's Grove Sanitarium for 15 years under the care of Dr. Sam Loomis. After failing to find any reason at all behind his actions, Loomis gave up. It was then that Michael escaped and returned to Haddonfield, Illinois, to hunt down Laurie Strode, his younger sister, who was adopted into a different family. Rob Zombie's reboot dove deeper into Michael's origin, showing a broken home and bullying being the catalyst for his descent into madness. That was it, guys. 7 horror icons that have been retconned through their remakes. There are a lot of similarities to the original, but they changed a lot of shit around. Alright, guys. See you later.